Soccerverse, the newest massive online multiplayer soccer management game that can make you rich if you know soccer well. In Soccerverse you can find 5,300 clubs, almost all the world. Actually, look at the map. Everything that is green is a country with a lot of leagues. Like for instance in Spain there are 10 leagues, La Liga and all the others. In England there are 20 leagues, Premier League and all the others. And that goes also in Brazil, France, Argentina, all over the places. There are 140,000 players, all of them with attributes. Look for instance Haaland, the 95 rated, is one of the best of course. All over the places, as I told you, 154 countries of the world. You can make real money with this game. You can play as a manager, setting up tactics, transfer market, buy and sell players for your team, maybe your local team. You can play as a player agent of the soccer players, dealing between the influencers of the players and the manager, setting up the contract of each player. You can be a player influencer. So for instance, you can own a certain percentage of player, like Haaland for instance, and take decision, and will also earn a dividend based on the player performances. Guys, same thing, you can also be a club influencer, which means actually owning a soccer club, a part of it, or totally if you're super rich, and get a dividend out of that. Then you can be a trader, simply trading influence of club of players and making money, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Or a scout. If you think, actually guys, if you think you know soccer, if you think you know soccer players, and if you think you can really discover talent early, like wonder kids 18 years old, then what if you could invest some money at early stages and then cash in once they become the next Hendrik, the next Rodrigo or Kvaratskhelia, whatever? Well, with Soccerverse you can do it. This and much more other stuff. You compete globally. It's a community game, guys. It's a social game. You need to speak with influencers. You need to speak with other players. You need to do shady deals behind the curtains. You have to call guys, well, not call, right guys and say, hey, I want to buy Arda Güler. Put it in the market. No, I don't want to sell it. Well, I can give you some SVC, which is the in-game currency, which I will tell you about. Stuff like that. You need to be inside of Soccerverse to play Soccerverse. And the good stuff is the real world influences the rating of Soccerverse players, and so does your dividend. Without further ado, let's jump into Soccerverse. I'll show you what it is. This is an overview, walkthrough. I'll tell you everything that you need to know very quickly because it's a huge game. There are a lot of components. So if you want to know more, subscribe. You know the usual stuff. Let's jump.
Next on the show, the best motherfucker show.
Here we go, guys. Let's go. Let's start with it. First of all, as I told you, Soccerverse is a massive multiplayer online game. There are international competitions. If you're a manager, you want to win matches. You need to manage your team and transfer. You will see all of that. You will play competition, national competitions like Coppa Italia, Coppa del Re in Spain. Let's go to Italy, for instance. If you go to Italy, you see the leagues, Serie A, Serie B, Serie C. You probably know Serie A, right? But also there is Coppa Italia, which is the national cup. So cups games are played on Mondays, alternating between national cup, like Coppa Italia, and continental cups, like the FIFA Club World Cup or the Champions League or the Champions League of America, of Africa Champions League, and you know the others. These on Monday. But then of course you have the National Championship League, and that is played twice per week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. For instance, let's have a look at Inter Milan in Italy. We can see the schedule. If we go into schedule, there you go. You can see he played already, let's go back. There we go. He already played against Verona in Serie A. He already played against Bayer Leverkusen in UEFA Champions League. And he will play Coppa Italia this coming Tuesday, 4th of February. Competitions. It's tough. Okay, in this game, you can make money. You earn the in-game currency by being a manager, by being the player agent of a player, or simply by owning a percentage of a player or of a club. What does it mean to be a manager in Soccerverse? Let's start with the manager. I am the manager of Napoli. So let's go to my home page, and this is what a manager, actually everyone can see this home page, but the manager can operate in the game. The best friend of a manager is the in-game chat. There is an in-game chat down there on the bottom right here. If you click, you can see all your friends and everyone you spoke already with, and even the general. In Soccerverse, being a social game, you more often than never, you need to speak with the people on Discord or here and chat with them and say, you don't need to, but if you want to get a better deal or unlock a special transfer, you should do it. So keep in mind that there is a chat. Then as a manager, what you do, you set tactics. For instance, there you go. I had to submit my tactics by the 4th of February at 3 a.m. because I'll play in Coppa Italia with my Napoli. And I can definitely change the tactics. For instance, let's change the lineup here. Just want to show you from... right now I'm playing with a 3-4-2-1, but you can choose, I don't know, the classic. What is it? 4-4-2. Boom, 4-4-2. Of course, the players are out of position now. That's why this one is red and these guys are yellow, because Neves, it should be here. There you go. And my Nico Paz that I bought from Como, thank you, it's here in the middle. Then you can also make substitution, change the subs and who you take into the game. But then you can also set the team instructions. For instance, I'm starting with the counter-attacking strategy. There are many strategies like normal, defensive, attacking, passing, long ball, etc., etc. Attacking style, medium, soft, and hard. You can choose the captain, a penalty kicker, taker, and etc. And then you can start setting the situations. For instance, you can say that I have set up 2 situations which basically trigger at the 69 minutes at any score. I keep the same formation in this case, and I make 1 sub, and then another situation at the 80th minute, 1 sub, etc. But you can create a situation at whatever time you want. For instance, at the first minute, and then at the first minute you change to a crazy defensive 5-3-2 if I am winning by 3 goals. It will never happen, never. But if this happens, this triggers a change in information and then some crazy changes, okay? And then you submit. Easy. That's what a situation is. And then you go to the match and hopefully you win. This is what a manager does. Another thing that a manager does is go to the transfer market and operate in transfer market. As you can see here, you can see, let's sort by time left. It's a bidding system. So if you want to sell a player, you gotta put it in the market, in the transfer market, and then people will start bid between a certain minimum and maximum prices. And then after the best bidder gets the player, or the ones that bid 3x the player value. I'll give you an example. For instance, this guy from Burnley, Schlatke, rated 85 out of 100. Time is running out. In 1 day, 11 hours is going to be done, and the highest bidder is Aston Villa. There are other bidders. There were other bidders. They started bidding at 1,700,000, but the value of the player is 3 million. If I come with my millions and bid 9 millions, 0.06, it comes straight to me. This is how it works. In Soccerverse, to take decision, elect managers, elect player agents, people need to vote. There is a voting system, and the people that vote, the voting power is the influence. So let's review now very quickly what is the role of the influencers. So being an influencer basically means that you're like a shareholder of the club or of a player. You basically buying influence of a club or a player, you get a certain piece of the pie of that club or player, and you will have a certain weight on decisions of that club or that player. For instance, if you want to become a manager, the influencers of that club that you want to manage, they need to propose you, and once you take the job, they also need to unlock you, because you can play for free. If someone proposes you, you get the bench, you start setting up the formation, and that's it. You cannot operate in the transfer market, and you won't get a dividend. You won't get a stipend if you are a locked manager. If you are an unlocked manager. You're basically a contracted manager. You can operate in the transfer market and you get a stipend. To give you some examples, if you go into the votes tab, let's see the ones that I have influence in. Filtering. Okay, for instance, I have influence in Barcelona. What is going on? There is a voting for a manager in Barcelona. Let's view the vote. These guys, they all were proposed by someone or themselves, and it looks like Ralex17, who owns 3,910 influence of Barcelona, has got 6,580 votes, while Libertax, the current manager of Barcelona, who owns more votes than him, unfortunately is about to lose his spot because he hasn't got enough votes to not lose the position. So what I can do is I can vote for him because he's a friend and he's a really good manager. So I can vote for him. Transaction went. Boom, you see that now it's changed. I don't have a lot of influence in Barcelona, so my vote is not heavy. I don't have a lot of power in Barcelona, but you can see in Barcelona the influencer, top influencer is Explicit. Explicit has 12,000. He owns 1.24% of Barcelona, so his vote would definitely change everything. So what Libertax could do in order to save his spot is to contact Explicit in the chat just by clicking on his profile and go to this here and then write, hey guy, I'm a very good guy, you can check my history, blah blah blah, vote for me, and then that would save him a lot. He will lose the spot. And here you can see all the top influencers. Let's go back to the other votes just to have an idea. There is also an unlock vote. For instance, in Tottenham and in Chelsea, I already voted there, and the unlock means that an already proposed and assigned manager now wants to be unlocked in order to be able to operate in the market and also get a stipend. So you vote yes or no. I already voted it, and other people, you see other three people except me voted for a yes. So 100% of the people voted yes, and in 18 hours Taddy will be a fully unlocked manager of that. This is how it works. Now let's go back to the game world. In order to be an influencer, you need to buy influence. To buy influence on a club, you need to buy the packs of influence, and packs are tiered. For instance, here there is a diamond pack, a platinum pack, you can see a gold pack, and it depends on the quality of the team. For instance, Manchester United is a diamond pack, which is the highest tier, and the actual price right now is $14. You see this little number here? It means that it will probably, it's already increased by a lot. When this number increases, the price increases as well. So when you buy a pack for $14, you get 40 influence of Manchester United plus 10 in Brighton, 10 in Roma, 10 in Borussia Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen, Lazio, and Freiburg. So when you buy a pack, it's always main 40 influence plus other 60 of the secondary teams. Here. Watch out because the influence prices can skyrocket here. If it's super requested, $63 for a pack in Liverpool. Crazy. Or you can also go into the influence tab, club, and look for other players that are selling the influence in the game. So you don't have to use dollars. You can even use the in-game currency, that currency, the SVC, the currency that you actually earn by playing. For instance, Manchester United here is being sold at 7. Some people want to buy it at 4, but some other people want to sell it at 7, as you can see. So this is another way to get influence in a club. And the same works for players. Guys, the same thing that you just saw for club, it also applies for players. You can be an influencer of a player. You'll have to vote, in this case, who gets to be the agent of a player. And in both cases, in the club, if you're a club influencer and a player influencer, you get paid. Yes, you get really paid. Follow my channel, like and subscribe, because I will do other small videos with all the details, how much you get paid, how to set up the wallet. I already have done some videos about all the currencies, so check up here somewhere. You will find my video about the currencies that are used, but let's continue. So another thing that you need to remember of this game is that it's not only a soccer management game, because look at that. There is also, first of all, the finances tab is where the club can go bankrupt. If you do too many transfers and you don't check your finances of the club accurately, If you go bankrupt, the influencers of the club will not get their stipend, their dividend. They will be very angry at you and you'll be sacked. You will lose the spot for sure. But even before, if you're not performing well, people can sack you and you lose your job. Anyway, if you go bankrupt, then it's very bad. Okay? To recover the debt, the game goes in a kind of auto-selling mode where your best player, the players that are valued the most, they get automatically put into the transfer market, and all the money that you get, they get sold. And that money comes into the club to recover the debt. But you don't want to sell Haaland, for instance, in Manchester City, right? So you better not go bankrupt. But apart from that, in the game, as I told you at the beginning, there are only 5,300 something manager spots. After that, it's all about real world economy, guys. By real world economy, I mean that if you know soccer and your scouting eyes have seen a wonderkid in, I don't know, the second squad of Barcelona or somewhere else, what you can do is you can buy the influence of that player now, that is, wait for the player in the real life to play good, because remember, the performance of the players in real life are reflected into the game. The rating of the game are linked to the in real life performance of the players. And once the rating is actually better, the influencers, so you that bought a truckload of influence of this young wonder kid that nobody knew 3 months ago, now you're making a lot of money, right? Not bad, right? For instance, look at what happened in Spain in Real Madrid with Endrick. If you go in Real Madrid, in the squad of the Real Madrid, see all the ratings, these are reflecting real life performances. If you go down of the past 3 or 4 years, if you go down Endrick Moreira, so super young, 18 years old, this rating is not updated yet, it's only 62, but we all know how valuable Felipe Endrick is in real life, and the player ratings in Soccerverse get updated every end of a season in Soccerverse, and one season in Soccerverse is 6 months. So every 6 months you have updates, and if you're following this young kid, Endrick, in Real Madrid, and you know that he's playing well, so you expect the rating to go up, well, at this rating, you better load up. And that's exactly what happened. Look at that, what happened. Trade influence of Endrick. We all know that. Look at the price of Endrick. If you saw it by the, there you go, date, the 19th of January, so like 3 weeks ago, the price of Endrick was 0.0116 SVC, which is the in-game currency. Today, the price of Endrick, let's have a look at the latest trade. There you go, it's 0.13, so almost a 10x. You are ready, if you sell now what you bought early, you are already 10x, almost 10x your SVC. If you're wondering, yes, but all this money that you do by holding influence or by trading influence of players or clubs, or simply by playing the game, how do I cash out? Can I really cash out into my bank account or in real world, in dollars or in euros or in whatever? Can you really make a living with this game? I don't know about a living, but you can definitely earn real money by having fun and monetizing on your soccer knowledge, guys. And to do that, you have to follow my channel, because I'll be publishing another video tutorial on how to cash out the in-game currency to your bank account. It's very simple. So subscribe, big bosses, subscribe. Guys, there is so much to see that I just want to finish here this video, but trust me, subscribe to my channel because you'll be amazed. I'm not joking, guys. If you like soccer, this game is for you. You can monetize, even if it's only a coffee per week. By having fun and playing soccer, why not? So thanks for attention, subscribe to my channel, have fun, jump in Discord, and always Forza Napoli. Yes!